So have you ever wondered if God's love has limits? Like maybe there's a line that you can cross where he finally says, all right, enough is enough, no more. Well, Romans 5:8 says otherwise. And if you're ready to go, let's roll. So let me tell you something real. I didn't grow up thinking God liked me. I thought maybe he tolerated me, that if I cleaned up enough, that if I stayed out of trouble long enough, maybe he'd smile on me in my direction and bless me a little. But this verse, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us, that wrecked me. He didn't wait for me to get right. He didn't wait for me to say I'm sorry. He died while I was still spitting in his face with the choices I was making. That's the scandal of grace. That's the wild part of the gospel. You don't get holy and then God says, all right, now I love you. No, he proves his love before you ever proved yourself. And this flips everything around because I know how we operate. We keep score. We love people based on performance, even in church. We hand out grace, ration with our ideologies and in doses. You mess up too much, try again next year. But God's not like that. While we're still sinners, means he stepped into the pit with us. It means he signed the adoption papers while we were still cussing him out. It means he bought the ring even before we noticed him. Now, let me tell you something that stuck with me for life. You don't get better than come to Jesus. You come to Jesus and he makes you new. Not better, new.
No, you don't want to eat.
You come to Jesus and he makes a new creation out of you. Then it seems firsthand life changes. There was this guy I knew, I'll call him Mike. Nobody believed in Mike. He had been in and out of jail, lost his family, wrecked everything with addiction, and then he finally hit rock bottom. Somebody told him about Jesus. You'd think he's gone too far. But Jesus didn't wait for Mike to figure it all out. He met him in a jail cell. Mike got saved on a concrete floor with tears in his eyes and shackles on his feet because grace walks in prison cells. It shows up at 2 a.m. when you're alone and guilty and in a tired, broken cycle. It doesn't knock, it kicks down the door. And maybe that's your story. You think you've gone too far. You've done too much. You've been too fake for too long. Let me say this. I'm looking you in your eyes. God didn't die for you to be a cleaned up version of you. He died for the real you, to walk with you and clean up with you, and he would still do the same thing today. You don't earn grace. You don't level up into salvation. You don't work your way into being loved. You are loved first, and then your works show all of that. He loved you first. Just remember that. That's the difference between religion and relationship. Religion says try harder. Jesus says it is finished. Religion demands earn it. Jesus whispers, I already did. This one verse, Romans 5:8, sits like a tattoo on my soul. I revisit it every time I feel unworthy, every time I mess up, every time shame starts to creep back in. You want to know what keeps me going? This verse. I'm not driving this thing, I'm being carried. Even in my lowest, God didn't flinch. He leaned in closer. He didn't die for the church version of you. He died for the crying on the bathroom floor, the angry, the addicted, the ashamed, the hiding. And he is still here, still pursuing, still proving still loving. If you're watching this today and you're unsure whether God could still love you, he already did. He already does. And he is not going anywhere. Romans 5:8 isn't a nice verse. It's a rescue rope. So let's stop running. Let's stop performing. And let's stop pretending. And let's receive the love we didn't deserve, but he gave us anyway. If that hit you today, share it with somebody who feels too far gone, because the cross says otherwise, the Bible says otherwise, God says otherwise. You're never too far gone. I'm living proof of that. I love you guys. If you ever need to talk or get a hold of me, you know I'm always available. I'll talk to you soon.